This week, something weird happened to Anya's channel. And to find out what, we'll ask her in a minute. But first, let's have a quick look at what has changed since we last talked. You still have 9 subscribers. You have only 30 more views than last week and 1 more hour of watch time, which doesn't really seem to be a lot in a week. What exactly has changed?
Everything's changed. I decided to completely pivot. I got 4 videos on my channel when I started to think what would be a good way to go forward and what would I talk about, what's sustainable for long term, what will be the topics that I will be able to talk about in a year. And all that led to Amon's discovery that I should be talking about something I'm good at, which is being organized.
Yeah, but when we looked at how that shows up on YouTube, it's minimalism, it's getting rid of clutter, it's getting rid of material things, and you find lots of people doing that.
The idea seemed to be really good. And at first I thought, yes, that's good. I did some research, and there were indeed quite a few people who are doing this, and their channels are doing pretty well. So I thought at least somebody watching my video will get some value out of it. And maybe that's the way to go. But at the same time, the more we were talking about it, the more I just didn't feel it was right. It was like this inner gut feeling, almost feeling, oh no, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. The subject was good in theory, but it didn't excite me. And I thought, I don't want to be talking about decluttering cupboards for the next year or organizing fridges or closets or getting rid of clothes.
I think as well, if you can't think of an idea for making at least 100 videos on whatever subject you could have a channel on, then it's probably not a great topic because you won't have much of an interest in it.
Definitely, that was one of the reasons. I found, thanks to ChatGPT, 2 channels. One is Connie Reed. She's got 194,000 subscribers. She's more or less my age. And the other one is Malama Life. That's a young girl of 31, I think. She lives in Hawaii. And she has 845,000 of subscribers. So quite impressive. And she's also into this kind of minimalistic, get rid of material stuff subject. So after I realized that this doesn't feel right, I started to research further and I started to talk to ChatGPT. That was like a coaching session, more or less. And during that coaching session, it gave me quite a good advice and it asked me about a subject I could write about straight away without thinking much. And that was food and cooking, because that's the only thing I really watch on social media. I'm not really a watcher. And oh, that was the other thing. It asked me what kind of stuff would I watch on YouTube. And the problem is I don't like really watching things. I don't watch TV. I don't watch this kind of cinematic channels. I watch either somebody like Mel Robbins or Jay Shetty and the interviews because I find them interesting, or something to learn something about food or YouTube or any other subject. So it's hard to actually create a channel that you wouldn't watch yourself. That was my conclusion. So what I did was I sat down and I wrote more or less 2 pages about food, my childhood memories from home and how it changed when I was younger, when I was a young adult. And I uploaded that to ChatGPT. It said it's a pretty good story and it could be teleprompted. So I found that part much easier than just sitting there and talking like I'm talking now, because it's tricky sometimes to be in the flow and know what to say, in particular when the subjects are a bit wishy-washy, like I used to talk about.
So the first 4 videos weren't teleprompted and the last 2 are.
Yes. So I found a rhythm, I'm actually still working on it, of writing the scripts, refining them, then recording, uh, if possible in a batch, and then doing all the editing, adding B-rolls and making thumbnails and all of that.
So food-related stories is your new focus, but why is that?
Because I love food and I love to eat and I love cooking, and my lovely partner knows that.
And so tell me, you also decided to ignore the normal YouTube video structure where you have these hooks and learning points and then lessons at the end. And
Yeah, I decided to ignore it all, not to go what vidIQ tells me, not to go with what other people tell you how to grow your channel. I know my channel won't grow fast. I hope it will grow over time, but what I'm enjoying is the writing part and the recording as well. And I'm just thinking I'm creating a library of stories that somebody might enjoy who enjoys food or reading about food, listening about food, is interested in how it was in the communist times in Poland and some other places in the world. So that's just my idea.
what did you find out about Connie Reed?
That was interesting. She popped up actually 2 days ago with a video saying something about the future of my channel. And I listened to it, and she's saying in that video that she had a injury 2 years ago, and that really slowed her down. She couldn't upload as many videos as she used to, and that really hurt her channel. And despite trying to do everything she thought was right, chasing the titles, what other people are doing and that are performing really well, and chasing the algorithm, she didn't really see a further growth on her channel. And she realized that all these things were not her. Like, she wasn't authentic. That's what she literally said. And she's very emotional in that video, and she's all about mindfulness and yoga and teaching yoga and meditation. But that's a super oversaturated subject on YouTube. So yeah, she actually admitted, I'm not that bothered about decluttering. Yeah, so I felt like I was right to listen to my gut feeling, even if the views are still super low, the impressions are super low, but
So
let's see.
Connie was one of the many people that decided to chase what was the current flavor of the month. And after a while realized that you couldn't continue to make the videos on it because you can't keep making videos about a subject you're not passionate about. So your move now to make videos about things you're passionate about, a very good move,
See?
even if it's not in the standard format. And that leads us to the next experiment, which is to take those videos and to turn them into a podcast. Because they're not going to be in the standard YouTube format, they really lend themselves to a podcast. And I believe that by having them external to YouTube, it will help with the distribution of the content and therefore get more people to the YouTube channel once they find you on Spotify or wherever the podcast is going to be.
Yeah, on Spotify, yeah.
So between now and the next time we speak, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be setting up the podcast and we'll be letting you know what happens with that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll keep writing.
So if you find this useful and you want to follow along how we're getting on, subscribe, comment below. We love to read your comments. We always reply. Till next time, bye for now.